Good evening, friends. Come near the fire, where the flames wrap us in memories of home. Hear the gentle crackle, like the rustle of an old blanket unfolding the past. Tonight, I'll share Rose's story, a woman who found a quilt. Not just fabric and thread, but a patchwork of her youth, her family, and love she nearly left behind. Rose was 65. She returned to her hometown in Kentucky to clear out her mother's house after her passing. The house sat by a meadow, old, with sagging shutters and a porch draped in morning glories. Inside, it smelled of cinnamon, worn cotton, and her childhood, a scent she hadn't known for years. Rose hadn't been here in 32 years. She walked through rooms warm with history, the kitchen where her mother canned peaches, the living room with a threadbare sofa. In the bedroom, inside a cardboard box, she found a quilt, hand-stitched, with faded patches of calico and denim, one they'd sewn together as a child. Rose touched the stitches, and the soft rustle of fabric carried her back to the 70s. This quilt was their bond, a symbol of evenings when her mother taught her to weave life's pieces. In the 70s, when Rose was 12, she spent evenings with her mother. She, a seamstress with steady hands and a warm smile, always smelled of lavender soap. At night, they sewed patches for the quilt, and her mother shared lessons. Every piece matters, Rose, even the torn ones. Her mother mended neighbors' clothes for free, gave jars of jam to the widow down the lane, saying, "Stitch love into the world, and it holds." Rose loved those nights, dreaming of being an artist. But one day, she nearly turned from her mother's wisdom. In the summer of 1977, caught up with school friends, she refused to help sew. "This is boring. I want more," she snapped and stormed off. Her mother didn't argue, but her hands paused. Later, she said, "Life's patches don't always fit, Rose, but you can still make them beautiful." Rose stayed silent, her heart heavy. That rift stayed with her. Rose spent less time at home, chasing friends and visions of a brighter future. She moved to Nashville, became a graphic designer, built a career. Evenings sewing with her mother faded. Her mother wrote letters, simple and kind. "Rose, come back. The quilt's not done." Rose answered shortly, buried in work. When her father died 25 years ago, she came to the funeral but left fast. Her mother passed last fall, and Rose missed her goodbye. A project deadline loomed. Now, in the bedroom, she felt an ache. She'd lost not just her mother, but her lessons about patience, care, and the home she traded for dreams. By the fire, Rose held the quilt. Its patches were soft, each stitch a memory. She wrapped it around her shoulders, and the warmth brought back those evenings. Rose was 12 again. She saw her mother, her lavender-scented hands, their laughter as they matched patches. But behind that was her regret. She'd forgotten her mother while chasing dreams. In the box, she found an envelope. Inside were her childhood sketches, her mother's letters, and a note written before her death. "Rose, you were my quilt," she wrote. "Every patch was ours. Keep sewing wherever you are." Beside it was a photo, Rose and her mother at the table, with the quilt. Rose cried, but the tears were gentle. She realized her mother always waited, even when she was silent, and her lessons still held her together. Rose didn't sell the house. She fixed the shutters, draped the quilt over a chair, and every Sunday mended it, remembering her mother. She started giving jam to neighbors, sewing clothes for their kids, like her mother. Rose wrote a letter to her mother, full of words she hadn't said. You taught me to mend. It went into the envelope, beside the photo, her vow. We sometimes unravel, but we can stitch again. What will you mend today? Thank you for sharing this evening by the fire. Subscribe for more stories that warm the soul.